relationships. They can be the most fulfilling part of life, but also the most complicated. There are days when everything feels perfect, and then there are days when you wonder if it's all falling apart. When things get tough, it's natural to think about walking away. But before you make that decision, stop and ask yourself, am I ending this for the right reasons? Have I done everything I can to save this relationship? Sometimes we're pressured by friends, family, or even society to let go of something that's still worth fighting for. Maybe they tell you you deserve better, or you should leave, they're not good enough for you. But here's the truth, those people don't live your life. They don't share your relationship. Only you and your partner know the truth of what you have. Before you take that final step, you owe it to yourself and to them to dig deeper. Let's talk about the most important things to do before you end a relationship, why outside pressure should never dictate your decision, and how you can work to rebuild something beautiful if there's still hope. And remember, someone you know might be struggling with this right now. After you hear the second point, share this video with them. Let's make sure nobody walks away from something meaningful without understanding the full weight of that choice. 1. Reflect on why you're thinking of leaving. The first thing you need to do is understand the real reason behind your thoughts of leaving. Are you unhappy because of genuine problems in the relationship, or are you being influenced by outside pressures? Society has a way of making us feel like what we have isn't enough. Social media shows us picture-perfect couples with their luxurious vacations and grand romantic gestures. And we start thinking, why doesn't my relationship look like that? But here's the truth, comparison is a liar. Those perfect couples, they have their struggles too. You just don't see them. Imagine this, you're in a relationship with someone who loves you deeply. They don't have the flashiest job, the most romantic words, or the most exciting lifestyle, but they're consistent and loyal, and they care about you in ways that truly matter. Yet because your friend keeps saying you could do better or your family compares them to someone else, you start feeling dissatisfied. Before you let outside voices dictate your decisions, ask yourself, am I leaving because I'm truly unhappy, or because I've allowed someone else to make me question my happiness? Reflect deeply. Write down your thoughts. Identify whether the reasons for leaving are internal or external. You might be surprised by what you discover. 2. Communicate your feelings openly. One of the biggest mistakes people make in relationships is assuming their partner knows how they feel. They think, if they loved me, they'd just know. But here's a hard truth. No one can read your mind, not even someone who loves you. Before you walk away, you need to have an open and honest conversation about what's bothering you. Don't wait until the relationship has reached its breaking point. Here's a scenario. Imagine feeling distant from your partner. You think they don't care about you anymore because they've stopped doing the little things that used to make you feel special. But when you finally gather the courage to talk to them, you learn something shocking. They've been struggling silently with stress, work, or even their mental health. Their distance wasn't because they didn't care. It was because they were overwhelmed. Without communication, misunderstandings can snowball into reasons for leaving. Before you make that choice, ask yourself, have I given them a chance to understand how I feel? Have I listened to their side? If you're feeling this way, don't keep it to yourself. Share this video with someone who might be struggling with their relationship. Communication can be the difference between losing love and saving it. 3. Evaluate what you're bringing to the relationship. It's easy to point fingers and say, they're not doing enough, but relationships are never one-sided. Before you leave, Ask yourself, am I giving the same energy I'm expecting to receive? Let me share a story. A man was frustrated with his wife because she seemed distant and uninterested in their marriage. He felt like she didn't love him anymore. But when he sat down to reflect, he realized something painful: he had stopped making her feel loved. He had stopped complimenting her, planning dates, or showing her affection. The truth hit him hard: he wasn't giving her the energy he wanted from her. Instead of walking away, he decided to pour love and effort back into their relationship. Slowly, she started to reciprocate. They rebuilt what they almost lost. Before you decide to leave, ask yourself, am I giving my best? Am I being the partner I want them to be? If the answer is no, you owe it to yourself and to them to try. 4. Don't let outside pressures influence you. This might be the most important point of all. Friends, family, and even society often have opinions about your relationship. They might tell you, you deserve better, or why are you putting up with that? But here's the thing: they're not living your life. Imagine ending a relationship because of outside pressure, only to realize later that you walked away from something special. Maybe they didn't understand your partner's quiet ways or see the sacrifices they made for you. Maybe they didn't know the depth of your connection. Your relationship is yours alone. The opinions of others can never fully capture what you share with someone. Before you let their voices get in your head, ask yourself, is this decision truly mine? Or am I being influenced by others? 5. Have you done everything to fix it? Before you leave, make sure you've done everything in your power to make it work. Have you tried couples therapy? Have you made changes to your behavior? Have you had those hard, vulnerable conversations? Think of a relationship like a house. When something breaks, you don't demolish the entire structure. You try to fix it. But if you let the problem grow, ignoring the leaks and cracks, it becomes harder and harder to repair. Ask yourself, have I put in the effort to repair what's broken? Or am I walking away because it's easier? 6. If you must leave, do so with grace. Sometimes, despite your best efforts, a relationship might not be salvageable. If you're leaving because of abuse, neglect, or fundamental differences, know that you're making the right choice for your well-being. But even in leaving, do so with kindness and grace. Remember, this is someone who shared a part of your life. They're not perfect, but neither are you. Part ways with respect, not bitterness. And as you move on, focus on healing yourself. Surround yourself with supportive people. Allow yourself to grieve the loss of what could have been. And when you're ready, open your heart to love again. Emotional and encouraging. Ending a relationship is one of the hardest decisions you'll ever make. But before you walk away, make sure you've done everything you can. Don't let outside pressures, fleeting emotions, or shallow comparisons dictate your choice. Look into your heart. Be honest with yourself and your partner. And if you stay, fight for what you have. But if you must go, leave knowing you gave it your all. Life isn't always fair. Good people get hurt. But through pain, we find strength. Through loss, we find clarity. And through love, we find hope. Share this message with someone who might need it. Let's remind each other that love, real love, is worth the effort.